Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. On today's show, I try something new. I'll be making some stops around the county where I'll revolutionarily place a camera on a tripod, hook up an audio cable to it, mic up my interview subject, and force that subject to look at me as I ask him or her questions. I know it's nuts, but I'm all about pushing the creative envelope. Clearly, my subjects consider the latter part of that whole deal cruel and unusual punishment, but hey, somebody's got to pay the price for you, the faithful Inside Sports viewing public. When I come back, my first good sport is South Hagerstown football coach Toby Peer. TV history commences after this.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Honey, I just got the mail. We got 6 new bills today.
We don't have enough money.
Mommy, will we still get to live in our house?
It may be time to consider bankruptcy. Call Bodie Law. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family.
Injured on the job? Been denied compensation? Need money for medical bills and lost wages? Know your rights. Insurance companies have lawyers, and so should you. Protect yourself. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Welcome back to the show. Last Friday night, South Hagerstown traveled to North Hagerstown, hoping to leave with the Hagerstown Gridiron Championship trophy, the Antietam Conference title, and momentum heading into just the second playoff appearance in school history. The Rebels backed up a truck to the gates at Mike Callis Stadium, intent on filling it with their haul, but first they needed to beat the Hubs, something that North resisted by taking the opening kickoff and marching 75 yards in 11 plays.
They did. They methodically went right down the field on their first drive. They did a great job of executing and scored. And at that point in time, right there, our coaching staff, we know this is a challenge for our kids. We're going to see whether they're mentally tough enough to play here from behind. And it's still early in the game, but it still matters. In big games like that, kids can lose their composure because they're behind.
And then you were almost even further behind as North's Aaron Miller scooped up a fumble, if not for a tremendous hustle play by Mike Burgess to deny him a touchdown all the way down at the 13-yard line. And it turned out to be a play that ultimately kept the Hubs off the scoreboard completely. So how big was that turn of momentum?
I think it was a huge turn of momentum. And one thing about Michael Burgess, he plays hard, he hustles, he plays to the whistle every play. And when I seen he had an angle, I knew there was no doubt he was not going to give up. And he went down and made the play. And then the defense comes out and holds them to a field goal attempt. That's huge. That's huge in the ball game.
And it led to South Hagerstown putting together back-to-back scoring drives, the second set up by a North turnover. Now, your team could have been down 14, but now you're up 7. So how big is that?
It was very big, and what it did was it just solidified that, yes, we can play with them. We can run the football against them, and we can move the football down the field, limit mistakes, and we'll be okay. And big confidence boost for our kids at that point.
And certainly confidence is king because we know psyches can be so fragile. So it might have been rather small, but how important was that blocked extra point that sent you to halftime ahead 21-20?
We'll take 1 point. We tell them every game, if we just win by 1, we're all right.
The third quarter saw your D hold North at bay despite the field position the Hubs enjoyed. Then late in the quarter, your offense got the ball deep in its own end, but just kept moving it.
The 96-yard drive was huge. In today's world, it's hard to go out and have a 10, 12, 15-yard drive. It's the game of football has changed to the big play. And to go out and methodically go 96 yards down the field, again, a big confidence booster, took some time off the clock, and allowed our defense to rest. We could settle in, and was big momentum for us.
You then follow up that score with a defensive stop and another touchdown. So now it's a 2-possession game in the fourth quarter. What's the prevailing feeling on the sideline?
We were feeling great at that point, but they got the ball back with a little over 5 minutes left, I think, if my memory serves me well. And they methodically go down the field and score. But we feel real good about ourselves at that point. But now we're concerned their skilled players can score at any time. And we just didn't want to give up the quick score at that moment. And they did run a lot of time off the clock to earn that touchdown. To tighten the game up a little bit.
So now it's 34-27 with just 2:34 remaining. They try an unsuccessful onside kick, but then you're unsuccessful running out the clock. They get the football, but it's deep in their own end.
We did feel good about the distance they had to cover versus the time they had to do it. We felt good about it. We just wanted to keep it in front of us, and our pass rush did an outstanding job of making them throw quick, and we just tried to layer it up and get them down and secure a victory. The defense again came through in a big way.
Which led to victory and the Hagerstown Gridiron Championship trophy that comes with it. Describe what it's like to get that trophy.
It's an amazing feeling. I mean, the kids, to see the kids be so happy, and just all the fans come down, the parents, and it's just a great family moment when you win that game. And we know also what it's like to lose that game, you know, and my heart feels for the people who have to go through it when they lose, because, you know, it's hard on those seniors who've worked so hard. So whenever you can get a win in that Gridiron Classic, it's just very fulfilling. Now, the key is we got to put that away. We got to understand what that was like. We got to be pleased with it and enjoy it, but we got to put that behind us and not be satisfied. And we got to move on, because we need to focus daily and take this thing one day at a time and practice and get better daily for our first round of the playoffs.
Speaking of which, you go to 9-1 Linganore, the region's #1 seed on Friday. What's the biggest challenge Linganore poses?
Well, I think they're sound in all three phases. You know, their kicking game's pretty special. They do a great job in the kicking game. It's probably as good as anybody we've played all year, prepared for all year. Offensively, they're a team led by their running backs. They have many running backs, and they can all break it on any play. They're a threat to score every time they snap the football. Defensively, they probably don't get a whole lot of credit, but they're an outstanding defense. Because they're so explosive offensively, that seems to get all the headlines, but defensively, they look like they have about 14 players out there on defense. They're everywhere. They do a nice job. They're well coached. They got a lot of good talent, and it's certainly going to be a challenge for us.
Because you approached the North game like a playoff game, what did you find out about your team under the brighter lights last Friday?
I felt like early they had momentum, that North did a great job of going down the field and scoring on their first drive. Nothing went our way. They're down there, and we got to hold them. And they have a field goal attempt. And our kids at that point did not flinch. They did not flinch. And I knew if we could just get this to settle down, now we can compete. And all those thoughts of wonder are gone. So when we get down and we score that first touchdown, now our kids know this is a game and let's just keep going. And I was very impressed by the kids' mentality at that point in the game.
Now it's win or go home. So from a coaching standpoint, how do you approach this one?
I just think we do what we've been doing all year. We keep the same routines, and we focus on the moment we're in. Don't think about a week from now. No, think about today. You know, let's think about our practice and how we get better, and we methodically go through our day and do what we do, and the rest will take care of itself.
And Coach Pier's team has every right to feel that way. The Rebels roll into the playoffs on an 8-game winning streak during which they've averaged nearly 43 points and 434 yards of total offense per game. Conversely, they've limited the opposition to fewer than 13 points and 250 total yards over that stretch. Best of luck to Coach Pier and South Hagerstown on Friday. When I rejoin you, Hancock playoff football coach Todd Rupenthal stops by here after this. At Murray's Tire and Auto, we were here for you then, and we're here for you now. While the way we look might have changed over the years, the quality of the work you've come to count on remains the same. From preventive maintenance services to emissions repairs to major and minor mechanical work, Plus, Murray's carries Cooper and other major brands of tires and uses state-of-the-art equipment to accommodate all rim and tire sizes. And now shopping for tires has never been easier. At Murray's, your family's safety behind the wheel is important to us as our own. Enjoy old-fashioned service with all the modern conveniences at Murray's Tire and Auto. Still here for you in Williamsport. Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue now with another interview. I've got Coach Todd Rubenthal from Hancock with me. Coach, welcome to the show. And man, what a great year it's been at Hancock, I must say. You know, a 9-1 record, coming off a 25-11 victory over Berkeley Springs at Berkeley Springs on Friday night. Let's talk a little about that game first, because to begin, the defense really showed its mettle on Friday night.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Yeah, the defense is, I know we've put up a lot of points this year, but I think the defense is the core to what we are. I mean, we've given up 137 points in 10 games now. But a lot of quick stops the other night and gave us a chance to grind the ball out, and run a lot of clock off while scoring. So it limited them time-wise what they could do.
And 3 takeaways, that's always big when you can get the ball away from the other. And it set up your offense on that initial drive, going down the field and taking the lead, which is certainly big, especially when you're playing on the road.
Especially over there, because if you get behind over there, sometimes it can snowball on you. And that was our goal going in, to stop them, play even the first quarter. We were lucky to punch one in the first quarter and get up on them. And they played catch up the whole game after that.
And your offense this year has sort of been known for the big play. There have been a lot of long scoring plays this year, but you were able to sustain some drives on Friday night. How pleased were you with that?
We work on that in practice, where we try to grind things out. So, I mean, as a conditioning tool, so it was the biggest drive of the year we've had so far was at Berkeley Springs. It was an 84-yard, 12-play drive that we ended up scoring on. Then we came back after that and scored on a 78-yard drive on like 11 plays, I believe it was. So those are two huge things. Plus, it wears them down.
Yeah.
It really wears. I mean, they were tired by the end of the second drive.
And when they don't have the football, clearly they can't hurt you.
And we're
either.
in good shape.
Yeah. So that's all good. And this year has been amazing, because I remember talking to you before the season even started, and you were very low key about expectations for this year. But right now, school record 8 wins in a row, going into the playoffs for the first time since 2004. What have you attributed to the success that Hancock has had this season?
The kids' work ethic. I mean, they work hard every day in practice. They compete hard against each other. I think all the weight training we did in the off seasons helped in the conditioning. I spoke that earlier in the year. I mean, we worked really hard at that, because with 18 kids, you need that, because you're subbing kids with kids that are playing other positions. So Ron Hose has done a great job in our weight room. I mean, we still do 2 nights a week in the weight room. Not so much gaining strength, just maintaining. And knock wood, we've been healthy all year.
Yeah, and that's obviously
that's the key to us. Really, that's the key for us.
Very, very important. And playoffs, talking playoffs at Hancock for the first time in 9 years, and a home game at that. How big is that?
It's big for the community, and it's big for the kids. I mean, I can't tell you how important it was for the kids to try to get that. We just knew if we took care of our business, things had to fall in place, and things fell into place for us. I mean, we did our end of it, which we had to do, and Manchester helped us out there. So we have North Carolina on Friday night.
And this is big at the front end of trying to sort of build this program, you know, in terms of you being the first-year head coach and a JV team this year and all of that. So the winning certainly doesn't hurt.
You know, the winning's like a bonus here, because I mean, we were successful when we got a JV program up, I felt, because every year we go in trying to rebuild instead of so-called reload sometimes. Now we have a JV kids coming in next year that has 6 games under their belt, didn't stand around all year, actually got playing time, and some of those kids are actually contributing now on the varsity level. There's like 3 of them actually contributing small roles, but big roles when they're in there.
And what great experience that is. There's no substitute for that.
Yeah, I mean, they're all freshmen, so they're a little bit wide-eyed right now with it all.
And you mentioned that North Carroll team, a team that won its first 7 but has lost its last 3. So my question to you is, how big is confidence on Friday night?
I think it's big, but I don't think they're I think they have confidence. They lost to Westminster, which is a powerhouse down there, South Carroll, which is a powerhouse, and they lost to Manchester, which had to win. So they've had their back. I think they're a very good team. I mean, they're really a good team.
And it's the clash of the Panthers, as it turns out.
Yeah.
What will your Panthers have to do to win this game on Friday?
I think control the ball, run. Even if we don't score on possessions, control the ball, grind out some first downs, and keep the ball in their end. Keep long fields for them, short fields for us. That's been the key for us all year.
And how much has this team exceeded your hopes and expectations?
I don't know if I had a lot of. We just plan every week, and what happens, happens. I mean, obviously you want to win. Playoffs are great, but they've been great kids whether we would have won or lost. I mean, they work hard, they're respectful on the field. I mean, everything you want out of a team, they're that, plus they're winning. So that's, and they represent us in the school real well.
Yeah, you can't ask for more than that.
And that's all we ask of them, and put them in a position to do their best, and they've done pretty well.
Yeah, I would say so. Coach, Congratulations on what you and the team have accomplished so far. Best of luck on Friday.
Well, thank you. It's going to be a good night in Hancock at night. There's people calling for pre-sales and stuff. We can't do it in state playoffs, but it should be a good atmosphere.
Yeah,
so
a good problem to have. Again,
it's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have.
Thanks for being here, Coach. I will be back right after this, and I'm out on location again. More coming up in just a moment. Boxes are good for a number of things, but not as your flooring store.
Excuse me, where can I find your ceramic tile expert?
Ceramic tile expert? You're looking at him.
But aren't you the
ceramic tile expert?
At Carpet Gallery, flooring isn't just one of the things we do, it's the only thing we do. And when they say free, we say, really? Here, you'll meet with flooring and ceramic tile experts with over 70 years of experience, and that's for real, and that's real value. Trust Carpet Gallery for all your flooring needs and think outside the box. September is the biggest, most exciting month ever for Antietam cable customers. Watch TV shows from the most popular networks on your computer or portable device with the launch of Antietam To Go, available free to television subscribers. Antietam high-speed internet now has faster internet speeds and more speed choices with new speeds up to 50 megs for home and 100 megs for business. Plus, we added 8 more HD networks, now totaling over 100 in stunning high definition for your viewing pleasure. Antietam Cable, we bring the world to your home. Welcome back to Inside Sports. For the first time since 2006, the county has a chance to capture a state soccer title. The last school to do it is also the latest to have a shot at updating the record book. The Smithsburg Leopards are one win away from the 4th state championship in school history, thanks to last Saturday's 1-0 semifinal triumph over Bohemia Manor. The Leopards made Caitlin Fauntleroy's goal in the match's 50th minute stand-up as they advanced to play Sparrows Point, a 2-1 winner over Manchester Valley in the other Class 1A semi. They'll meet at UMBC this Friday night. I visited with Smithsburg head coach Victor Delamia earlier this week using my trend-setting interview setup to discuss his team's quest for the title, asking him first how 2 late regular season losses turned out to be a catalyst for his team's postseason success.
We played 2 really good teams in Catoctin and Williamsport, and both teams, the girls take those games, very seriously, and so they helped carry that momentum, that mentality into the playoffs. They treated those as playoff games leading up. Thankfully, we lost the ones who don't count, and we've really started to have a good run going forward with the ones that did count. But those last 2 games were, very instrumental on how well we were playing going into the state tournament.
If someone had told you before the season started that your team would be one of the final 2 in 1A vying for a state championship, what would you have said?
First, I would have said thank you. But I would have really sort of agreed with them because I had a lot of faith in this team going throughout the season. We had a couple key injuries throughout the season that helped slow us down a little bit, but the girls showed phenomenal character working through that. And coming into the playoffs, they just started to, like I said, get their footing, and we started getting everybody healthy at the right time. Again, I really thought this team had the potential to do well towards the season. When the injuries started happening, you start to have some questions, but again, our training staff and our coaching staff helped get the girls in peak physical and mental conditioning going into the playoffs. So again, at the beginning of the season, I really thought we could really do well in 1A this year.
Your team's season started with a runner-up finish in the county tournament, going 2-1 against 3 schools in higher classifications. How important was that good start, particularly for such a young team?
When you get off the starting blocks well, you always have confidence going forward. And we could always use that as a measuring stick for the rest of the season. When things started to go difficult, we asked them, this is the same team that played the first 5 games, and we have some injuries. Our girls really worked through it quite well, and the end product has shown with us going to the state finals this year.
What do you like most about your team right now?
At this stage, just their overall fight and dedication to the program, and they get along all really well with one another. The bus rides back during the playoffs were always a lot of fun. Going into the playoffs, the Northern Garrett trip really helped the team come together real well. That's a long bus trip and a longer bus trip back after you win. So it's a lot of time for the girls to enjoy and get a lot of chemistry created. So I just like the chemistry, and overall this is a great group of girls, and I really appreciate each and every one of them.
As a coach and as part of a coaching staff, connectivity and rapport is essential. How would you describe your relationship with the girls?
Well, my relationship is one that is, along with Coach Folks and Coach Horst, we try to keep a serious yet fun environment, because it is a game. When you're all said and done, it's a game. And to treat it any more seriously sort of takes away from the memories the girls can withhold. But I try to make practices light. I mean, Bill brings enough intensity for a lot of people. I mean, he's just so mentally ready for every game by the time it gets here, and he's been a fantastic addition to the program. Not addition, a re-addition, because he brought the state championships that are up on the wall right now he was part of. So him bringing back that experience and his overall determination, that allows me to use my stronger suits of trying to relax the kids and trying to make them enjoy it. It's a beautiful game, and they need to treat it as such. And when you can, positive things happen.
And how do you go about ensuring that that's the case Friday evening?
Just to play like we have been. We just need to focus a little more. Sparrows Point's a very good team, and they're gonna make us raise our level to the next point. And if we can continue to play and get along and have good chemistry on the field, then refusing to lose is another thing this team does. So Sparrows Point's going to bring everything. I mean, they're from that area of Baltimore County that is not known for its faint of heart, and they're going to come out ready to go. And they showed a lot against Manchester Valley, and luckily I was there to watch the game. But they're going to fight against us at tooth and nail, and we need to just reciprocate as much as we can.
Coach Delamia's Leopards, who have but one senior, have been sensational in the second season, winning their 4 games by a combined score of 14-0. They go for lucky win number 13 for the year, one that would make their championship quest complete against the school that's lost in the finals each of the last 2 years. That game's Friday at 6 in Catonsville. On the topic of state champions, there's one poised for the Decker interview method waiting at her school next on Boonesboro Bound after this. What's bigger than a baker's dozen and a lot more exciting? Antietam Cable Sports Plus. 18 extra sports channels. MLB Network, Golf Channel, ESPNU, ESPN News, Big Ten Network, Outdoor Channel, World Fishing Network, Horse Racing TV, Fox College Sports, NFL Network, NFL Red Zone, every touchdown from every game every Sunday during the regular season, and more. Antietam Cable Sports Plus, just $7.99 per month. If you already have a digital box, you can get Sports Plus activated instantly. Call now, 301-797-5000. Antietam Cable is pleased to announce another exciting innovation, Antietam To Go. Antietam To Go lets you watch TV shows on your computer or portable device, laptop, tablet, smartphone. Watch what you want, when you want, where you want from the most popular networks on television. Power Antietam To Go with Antietam high-speed internet for the perfect entertainment combo. Just visit myactv.net/Antietam To Go to get started. It's TV your way with Antietam To Go, free with your TV subscription. Thank you for being an Antietam Cable customer. Welcome back to the show. After having swept the team cross-country titles at States a year ago, not only did the Warriors raise the bar, but so did the state by moving Boonesboro up a classification to 2A this year. And although no team championships came back to South County on Saturday, one Warrior managed to conquer McDaniel College's hilly course to wear an individual crown. Junior Megan Grams admitted she had quite the noisy head during her 18-minute, 54.6-second run to victory.
Stepping into the race, I was just happy to be there, and I was running for the people that didn't make it because I used to be one of them. And I really wanted to show them that they are capable of doing it. So I went into the race thinking about them. And then during the race, I led it most of the time, but I fell back and then I started giving up. And then they like flashed back into my head, and then I heard my coach and my dad all cheering for me. So I was like, I gotta kick it back in gear. And then I just tried my best.
And your best has been better than most this season. What's this year been like for you?
It was just like a shock to me how I ran this year, because I didn't even know I could do it until I actually did it. And my coach really showed me like how to do stuff, and she's helped me with my form a lot, instead of Coach Cutzell.
Well, what are you doing wrong form-wise? Because there are 140 others who would have settled for your form on Saturday.
I do this, like I punch myself, well I don't punch myself in the face, but I'm like right here. And that hurts you and you use more energy. Last at States, I had bad form. My coach yelled at me a little bit.
Well, hey, just show her your medal. What's it mean to be a state champion to you?
It means a lot, but I'm still just average runner.
Well, I'd hardly say that. As for the team, a 7th place finish, how do you assess that?
I think we all worked really hard, and I think everybody did amazing. We had a lot of PRs, and they all tried their best, and that's all we can ask for.
And that's for sure. Earlier, you mentioned the motivation and incentive that got you to the finish line, but wasn't there one more fun little facet to that?
Coach Walters and I were talking before my race at the starting line, and I was like, can I just roll down the hills? And she's like, I'll roll down them with you if you win. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's better than cookies. That's what I told her, and I was like, and then we rolled down the hill.
From the Grahams victory roll to McDaniel's rolling hills, on which Smithsburg's girls came within 2 points of claiming the 1A team title. Despite 4 finishers in the top 17, the Leopards couldn't overcome a 2-3 Cambridge South Dorchester placing in the final math. Meantime, the best finish by a county boy was turned in by Williamsport's Clay Smith. The senior was the only medalist in the 2A race, placing 19th, and North Hagerstown senior Emily Ward was an impressive 5th in the 3A race earlier in the day. In volleyball, Friday and Saturday didn't go well for county teams on the brink of region championships and a trip to College Park. First, the 4-time defending state champs from Smithsburg dropped a 5-set heartbreaker at Fort Hill. And then the 2-time defending 3A state titleists from North Hagerstown fell behind 2-0 to Damascus, dug deep to stave off elimination in the 3rd, but ran out of comeback gas as the tank ran dry in the 4th. It's the first time in 5 years that the county will have no representative at Ritchie Coliseum during championship week. Finally, we come full circle on today's show, starting and ending with football. Boonesboro finished its season Friday night by defeating Smithsburg 25-14. It was the 3rd straight win for the Warriors in the series. Boonesboro ends the year 6-4, while Smithsburg finishes 1-9. Williamsport scored the most points it scored in a game this season, and the Wildcats gave up the fewest they've allowed this season in a game, crushing Clear Spring 60-19. Williamsport's year concludes with a record of 3-7, while Clear Spring's 3rd loss in a row is its 8th overall to go with 2 wins. And I know you'll be the judge, but I believe my groundbreaking new way of conducting on-site interviews is a win-win. Just to recap, camera on tripod, audio cable attached, microphone on subject, ask subject questions, have subject look at me when answering. No, don't even think about it. My patent request has already been filed. I expect my innovative method to be sweeping the nation in no time. You've just been in on the ground floor, and you're welcome. Oh, and thank you for watching. See you next time on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets. Hey, don't complain to mother, they hiding under color, you gotta get up on your feet. Now I feel it in my bones again. Yeah, feel it, but you're never gonna let it in until